evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I'm your host, the Incredible Sulk, and I hope you guys are doing good, fantastic, and swell, and chipper, and jovial. And I don't give a shit about you guys. What do you think? I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to today's Friday show. I'm getting furry. I can tell. I'm getting furry. I hope you guys are ready. I think we're going to do a big 3-hour tonight. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I do have some White Claw on standby, so am I going to crack those open? That's a possibility. That's a real possibility, so stay tuned for that. So we might be doing the 3 hours, and might be dipping into the White Claw. We're doing Discord mods today, but a very specific type of Discord mods. Freaks of the freaks. People who went dangerous. People who did things that normal, upstanding Discord mods would never dream of. Of course. Of course. A fine, upstanding people, aren't they? If you guys give me $400,000, I will say the N-word to anybody you wish. As an aside, I had to throw that in there. That's not referencing anything, but I am for sale. That's all I have to say. I am for sale, and I will do those things for that ungodly amount of money. That is a huge amount of money to call somebody the N-word. And I know the joke. Everyone's been making the joke, oh, I've been doing it for free all this time. Have you? Have you? No, I don't think you have. You know why? Because you're chicken. You're chicken. I mean, that is intimidating. Saying it right to somebody's face is, they'll stab you. I'll still do it. I'm gonna go back. I like this banger. Because that's how I'm feeling tonight. That's how I'm feeling tonight. Anyways, guys. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're with me. I'm glad you're becoming a stronger and more powerful cult as we go on. I can feel it. I can feel the power. It's gathering. It's growing. And I shall be reckless with it. And I shall use it for evil. Almost certainly. I can't resist the lure of evil. Anyways, let's get going. Let's start. Get comfy. Get cozy. Grab a nice beverage of whatever you have. I have this nice, I have some grapefruit, bottled water. I got a couple of White Claws here, right? I got a couple of White Claws here. We'll see how that lasts. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, if you're working, keep working. If you are driving, continue to drive and drive straight, all right? If somebody wants a ride, don't pick them up. That's a bad idea. If it's like some hot hitchhiker, go ahead, pick her up. Because that's not a trap. That's not a trap. What attractive girl hitchhikes these days? This isn't the 70s. Sadly, it's not. Anyways. Again, this is a Friday show. Thank you so much for coming. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream, and this is called When Being a Discord Freak Ruins Your Life. Enjoy.
Discord is known to harbor some unsavory characters, from extremist edgelords to power-tripping mods.
Gotta love the edgelords, and I like how this is right against the... And he's 5'2" at best. 5 foot... You're 5'2" at best. Really, if we were to shave his head, 5'1". But let's give him that 5'2". I feel like I'm in a generous spirit right now. Let's give him that 5'2".
Moderators to gooners and everything
Who
else
do we
in
have?
between.
Ardenshire. Happy birthday, Ardenshire. Happy birthday, Ardenshire. Thank you so much for all the work you do. You are appreciated here at the Sulk stream. The cult / show. It's kind of the both in the same thing. Despite what you've heard, Fat Carol,
the gamers,
Esteban,
the moderator,
the whole Twitter crew. Background.
This is dangerous.
Sounds good.
These idiots have
background noise is 5'2.25". Okay. All right, you're gonna twist my arm into it. All right,
done it all, and today I'll be introducing you to some of Discord's dumbest degenerates. To start off today's video,
okay, so you sent me a thing that says, if this were official, it would be gold, and it's Trump. It's Trump as the lo-fi girl, which I actually really, really like. I think that's very funny. Let's see what it sounds like. Promises kept, promises made, promises made, promises kept. The White House. I like that. They got 1,000 viewers going. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna follow them. I'll follow you. Okay, pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty dope. Not gonna lie. That's cool. I like that. Okay.
I'd like to disclose to you all my genetic makeup. Thanks to today's sponsor.
Okay, you're white. I get it. You're white.
Off your own.
He's white. He's full white. He's complete. If you guys, spoiler alert, Wavy Web Surf is 100% white as they come. Anglo-Saxon all the way.
My heritage kit by clicking the link in the description or scanning the QR code and using code WAVY at checkout. So get you a kit and figure out where you're from like I have. Discord user threatens to blow up Twin Towers of beer. One morning in April of 2020.
Esteban says Royce got bonked on Twitter for 10 hours? Really? I didn't know that. He's been going pretty hard against the blacks all day. It was bound to happen. Damn, dude. I mean, like, that's why I'm like, because I've been picking fights all day on Twitter. Like, seriously, it's been a problem. I have a family I need to attend to, but I've been just like, I've been fighting with people. Boomers, black people. I'm not a big fan of Muslims. I don't like Indians. Okay, I don't like Indians. The list goes on. But yeah, I was kind of worried because it was getting pretty spicy on Twitter today, wasn't it? It was getting pretty hot. And it feels like now that Carmelo, which is a dumb name, got paid all this money for murdering that white kid. And then this lady got paid basically the same amount of money. I think it's at like $400,000 now. Just to say the N-word. Just to say the N-word. Right? 400 grand just to say the N-word so far. Now it's becoming a bounty hunt. These are bounty hunters. There's going to be people running around with their phones, either stabbing people or dropping N-bombs. And I am here for it. I am here for it, and I will watch. And I hope nobody gets killed, obviously. I don't want anybody to get killed, but I do want some people to be called the N-word. Like that one Twitter guy who holds his... I mean, the Tates would... the Tates, yeah, you can call them the N-word. Like, a bunch. I'll do that, right? Yeah, why not just start doing that? Let's just start hurling slurs at each other until somebody at Twitter says, "Oh no, you can't say that. You can stab whoever the fuck you want, but you can't say the N-word." Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. The word for black in Spanish? Can you say the word black in any word other than English? Can you say it in German? Schwarz. Schwarz. It kind of sounds like farts, but it's not. French. I don't know what is black for French. I think it's the N-word too. I think a lot of people use the N-word. I don't know what they do in Europe because like half of that continent uses the N-word to describe black. So maybe they just say hard N, like literally hard N, instead of like going full out and being like, look, all these N-words everywhere.
22, 26-year-old James Ricky Mead
Scott says noir. There you go. Noir. I should have known that. There you go. It's just another N-word, right? Look at all these noirs. It's not as good, right? Because there's not a hard R at the end. And that's just natural French, right? Because they have really soft R's in most of their language. Those damn noirs, it's hard to do a hard R with that. So I understand why the French aren't racist. Which is not true. The French are super racist. The French are super racist. And xenophobic, like that matters. They're fucking French. Who cares?
Second must have woken up with the worst hangover of his life, because on this day he would declare war against
Esteban says stab a nog on film then shout nigger. Now I am not calling for this in any way. I do not support stabbing people and filming it. I have to be completely clear about that. Saying the N-word is an American right. It is the second right, just after owning firearms, okay? You should be able to say it and not have a bunch of people chimp out on you, all right? And if they chimp out on you, you're allowed to kill them. That is why you have the First Amendment. So don't be like, oh, she said the N-word to a black man's face. Well, good. I'm really, really, really happy she did. And then there's this thing about like how she was a mud shark, and then some people pulled up these pictures that were actually not her. Absolutely not her. And so people are pulling out the stops. People are pulling out all the stops. I feel like there's a gigantic race war coming. And about time.
Here itself. James posted in a Discord chat stating that he had plans to, quote, fly a plane into the towers of the Anheuser-Busch plant, adding, I hope they got a terrorism insurance. The Budweiser plant in question was one local to him.
Well, come on. You build stuff like this, and Lucky Larry's going to have his fucking lawyer dogs all over it. What do you think, dude? Somebody's going to be getting double insurance, right? Right, Lucky Larry? Oh, you just happened to be out of the office that day. How convenient. And how much did you make? Like $8 billion? Way more than they were worth? Wow. Wow.
That being the Anheuser-Busch factory.
What a coinky-dink. What a stroke of luck.
Located just 11 or so miles north of Columbus, Ohio. This production center was iconic.
Pull your dick out, bro. I don't care.
Within the local community, notable for
I don't want to see it.
Its large twin towers. It appears James
Scott says, "Say it." Say what? Ricky
Mead had plans to
I can't. It's like hog. It's like a cat with a fur ball.
Create his own alcoholic version of 9/11. It was a jihad against barley malt and hops. While it's unclear what prompted Mr. Mead's threat against the Anheuser...
Critical Thought says, in the restaurant industry, they're called Canadians because Canadians don't tip. That's pretty funny. That's good.
That's
pretty funny. Do Canadians not tip? I know black people don't. Because they rarely even pay.
The comment was
no, they're not going to pay extra money. And that's why they get shitty service, honestly. Even when they have black servers, they get shitty service because they know the black servers know that these people aren't going to tip, and the white people know that these people aren't going to tip. So there's no reason to like give them good service. Maybe it's some weird kind of like, I don't know. Even at any restaurant I go to, even if I get bad service, I am tipping something. I'm going to tip like 10% minimum. I don't like that I do that, but I have to. Just because of the racism I have inside of me. I don't want these people to think I'm black, so I have to tip them something, even if the service was garbage.
Issued in a public Discord community chat for anyone and everyone to see. According to court records, an anonymous woman saw these
look, here's a Canadian right now.
Messages in the Discord and decided to report the
with a stolen MacBook
threat to authorities after police picked up on the pit.
Is it racist? I'm assuming it's stolen. No, I didn't think so either. Thank you, chat, for backing me up.
James Ricky Mead II was quickly arrested at his home by members of
Hog Dog says, I just tipped Domino's 15% for delivering my pizza. Confirmed. Hog Dog is white.
ATF.
Confirmed.
And was charged with making a terroristic...
Hold on, Nog. Hold on. Okay, Nog Dog's white. He got the bell for being white.
Threat, a third-degree felony.
26-year-old James Mead II is accused of making the threat in a group.
Scott says, sorry, I'm strictly 18%. All you getting. I like, okay, I know this is like not a flex, but like I kind of find myself a good tipper. I am a good tipper whenever I go out to a restaurant, which is not often, to be fair. I like to tip pretty well, at least 20% plus. And that's just because that's just because, man, it's just something I do. Like if somebody's like literally waiting on me, then that's just what I do. Now, if I go and pick up food or something like that, I usually won't leave a tip. I don't tip people at Starbucks or anything like that. Most of the time. Sometimes I will, but most of the time I do not. But if somebody is like waiting on me and bringing my food and like handles stuff, then yes, I usually will give them a pretty decent tip, especially if I'm drinking or like me and my wife are at like a nice dinner or something like that. Or my kids are there. Because my kids, they make messes, but we also try to leave the place as clean as possible because we don't want to be menaces. I've noticed most Canadians aren't like that. They'll go to a McDonald's and then like sit at the booth and then just leave all their trash on the table and it'd be like, that's someone else's job. Yeah, I mean, technically you're right, but it's still ghetto as shit. It's still ghetto as shit. So, whatever. But yeah, I usually like to tip pretty well.
Group chat on the social media app Discord in December, writing in part, I hope they got a terrorism insurance plan.
Delivery guys get a $5 flat fee. Always have, always will. I don't get anything delivered. I don't get anything delivered. Maybe once in a blue moon I'll get a pizza delivered, but even then I'll give them 10. I'll give them 10%. Yeah. But I don't like food delivered. I don't like, I don't like getting food and been like, well, where in town have you been? Where have you been? You left the restaurant where I know where it is, and you came here to my house, and I am not accounting for the 20 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes that you were just out on the town, right? Why do you have messed up fries? What's going on there? You're a little bit mid. You're not as hot as I would like you to. No, I never do Uber Eats or anything like that. That's disgusting. And I don't trust those people. Not because of race, because they work for Uber Eats. That's why I don't trust them. Yeah. Now, if you threw race on top of that.
The day before.
Things only got worse for Osama bin Laden.
Hog Dog says my Domino's is 5 minutes away. Then get off your ass and go get your Domino's. Just ride your fucking bike there. It's 5 minutes away, man. You can't. It's 5 minutes away.
Here, as when investigators discovered the man's occupation, they were furious. Turns out James was actually an Ohio National Guardsman. He worked in the state military and was allegedly plotting to destroy one of Ohio's most beloved state monuments.
That's a state I'm sorry. I'm gonna open up a White Claw. I'm sorry. The Budweiser factory is a state monument to you? What was it? Wisconsin? Wisconsin sounds like it sucks ass, dude. Wisconsin sounds like it blows.
What a betrayal! At the time, Mr. Meade's rank was listed as specialist, and his military.
Anybody been on the factory tour? I went to a Heineken factory tour, and they have these little bracelets, and these bracelets have like little buttons on them, right? And each person gets 2 free beers at the end of the tour, and I just went around collecting bracelets, like bracelets people dropped or so. I had like a lot of beer. I got really drunk at the for completely free. So I was using my thinker.
Military occupational specialty was air defense battle management system operator. So with this context, you could probably see why prosecutors were throwing the book at this guy. It's within reason to think this dude could get access to a plane and could have the know-how to
access to a plane is not that difficult. You go to any municipal airport and then walk up to a plane. A lot of times they have keys in them, but also it's not terribly hard to hotwire. They're not very hard to hotwire. It's a little bit like a boat, but the security is minimal. At a municipal airport, you can't go to like, MCO or LAX and hop in a plane. No, because the security is real tough there. But there's a million airports out there, and a lot of them are just a landing strip, and they have a few planes on them. A lot of times, those planes have gas in them and keys. And flying planes is actually really easy. I've done it a lot. I did 2 solo flights in a Cessna 172 by myself. Flew it up, around, and landed it. But I've also got a lot more hours than that. But it's not hard. It's really not hard. You just put in the gas and then go and start pulling it around and stuff. You get the idea pretty quick. I'm just saying. So I'm not saying you should steal a plane, but if you want to, it'll be easy.
Perpetrate his Anheuser-Busch kamikaze threat. Investigators continued their background check and reportedly found other comments.
Monkey says I have a cat key. Like a caterpillar? That's pretty sweet. Those are always left on job sites. That one you can actually cause some havoc with. That, if you like steal a plane for a joyride, people are going to be pissed. You're going to get a ticket from the FAA. But like, you know, as long as you land it and you don't like do anything bad with it, you might go to jail. Actually, you might go to jail for a while. It just kind of depends. I think you might get a slap on the wrist or federal prison. It's either or. It's, you know, it's one of those.
From James, which promoted violence against law enforcement, minority groups, and women. Maybe James was mad and wanted to blow up the beer factory because he was drunk when he posted this incriminating shit. You know, he's like, this is all your fault. It also seems James wasn't alone in his online antics. Bizarrely enough, James Ricky Meade wasn't even the first person in his National Guard unit to get a...
This bite says, I have several John Deere keys and know the backhoe master code. What is it? Let's go ahead. Put it right there. Tell us what it is.
Arrested for making threats on Discord. Just a week prior to his arrest...
It says, fun fact, tanks are pushed to start. I don't doubt that. There's probably other things you need to do to like get a tank going, but I doubt that's very difficult either. What would be tough is like getting a helicopter to start, because there is all kinds of switches to get a helicopter going. Not to say I couldn't do it. Like one of the simpler ones, I could probably watch a YouTube video and figure it out pretty quick. But like something like a Chinook or something, or like an Apache helicopter, that would take time. You would really have to know what you're doing to get that bitch started. But there is some lady on Instagram that I forgot her name, but it's like How to Steal Jets or something like that. And she runs through the startup process of a bunch of different jets and helicopters and stuff. It's actually very interesting.
Another member of his unit, 24-year-old Thomas Devlin,
despite what you heard, says 4333 select start. Does everybody have that? Jot that down. It's up here in this steel trap. So I'm good.
And was arrested for allegedly making threats saying that he was going to shoot up a local Jewish school. A school that he was actually working at as a security guard. On Discord under the...
Wow. Okay. So they really cut corners on vetting their security guard, huh? They're all like, we don't need to pay to have a background check. We can just hire anybody off the street to work security at our Jew school. It seems very foolish. That seems like a very bad idea. Can't, like, any Klan member get in the security at the Jewish school? I'm just... Really? You have no background checks? You should have been like, oh, this guy's a Discord mod. And that should have immediately made him disqualified, right? Because there's no Discord mods that are like stable, that are okay, that are be like, oh, he's actually a good guy in his real life. No, he's a Discord mod. He's not okay. He's not a good guy in his real life. He's a fucking Discord mod.
The alias Patrick Bateman, Thomas would say the following.
And said working at the school radicalized him. He was good before. But then he just constantly heard like fucking goyim, fucking goyim, fucking goyim. And it's all like, what does that mean? Cattle. What? Yeah, I can see I'd be pissed.
I'm at a Jewish school and about to make it everyone's problem. And he said,
I'm at a Jewish school and I'm about to make it everyone's problem. I mean, they got enough problems as it is, but okay.
The playground is about to turn into a self-defense situation.
That's pretty funny. Okay. That's cool. Was he just like on the tower with a rifle? Like that one movie? Schindler's List. He's got his shirt off and a cigarette. Just reenacting the scene. Okay. All right, you have my attention, sir.
Actual threat, Sam Hyde reference, who's really to say? But when you're in the military and a security guard at a fucking school with children, police don't care one way or the other. You're getting cooked.
Earlier this year, Devlin was indicted after being accused of making anti-Semitic and violent statements online. The U.S. Attorney's Office says the
Well, what did he say? What was anti-Semitic that he said? You didn't say anything like that. What did he say? Did he use the K word? Did he say all these little K's? Did he use that word? I don't want to say it. Right? Because I know who runs this industry.
Happened while he worked private security for the Columbus Torah Academy, a private Jewish school.
According to some sites, Thomas, like James Meade, also made threats regarding the Budweiser manufacturing facility in Columbus. Looks like both of these guys had beef with Budweiser. Yeah, it seems James and Thomas might have actually been friends. Aside from being...
I'm not shocked by that. I mean, weirdos hang out with other weirdos. I mean, look at my chat. And then look at me. We're not okay. I think we could just agree that all of us are not okay. We're not okay, guys. I mean, we're funny. We like to laugh and stuff, but like deep down, we're in pain.
In the same guardsman unit, they also worked for the same security firm. Their camaraderie would extend to the courtroom as well. Both men would eventually face sentencing for their alleged threats issued on Discord.
You got the slack jaw. French fried potatoes.
James Ricky Meade would plead guilty to making those remarks about wanting to bomb Anheuser-Busch's Twin Towers, and the judge would give him probation with a suspended sentence of 3 years in prison that could be imposed if he violated his probation. So basically, he narrowly avoided jail time, and the court is keeping a close eye on his activies. Thomas Devlin...
Well, he got out of it. What did you just make threats? You just made threats towards the Budweiser factory? I have a bug on me or something? I have a bug on me. Threats? Dude, you know how many threats I see on Twitter all the time? That might get reported, but it doesn't matter, dude. Like, I feel like... Man, it just doesn't matter. They're gonna ban who they want to ban. I can't believe Royce got popped though, because he's got like a big account. So 10 hours. I bet he was pissed about that. I'm sure he was pissed about that.
The other hand wasn't so fortunate. This guy got hit with some serious time, being sentenced to serve 6 years in prison. This is because it was found that Thomas, on top of Discord threats...
That was the Jew school one. Yep. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised in the least bit, right? You can threaten the beer factory, but once you go after the Hebrew school, then I mean, how many lawyers have their kids in that? How many judges have their kids in that school, dude? That's just not wise. You're gonna get thrown away.
Was also manufactured.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. I didn't even say anything anti-Semitic or anything like that. There was a lot of lawyers who put their kids in Hebrew school. That is a fact. That is a fact. And if facts are anti-Semitic, call me anti-Semitic.
Illegal ghost guns, which are essentially untraceable homemade firearms that people can make with 3D printers.
Oh, sweet. Ghost guns. Wow, that's actually impressive. That's like, is Goofy Boots here? That's a good print, isn't it?
Or by other methods. With the conspirators thwarted, Anheuser-Busch managed to avoid what George Bush couldn't, and their twin...
I don't think he was trying to avoid it. I don't think George Bush was trying to avoid anything. I'm not going to say he was in on it, but something seemed weird. about that day. Also, his dad was also involved in some sort of, yeah, the whole family goes back to making crooked decisions, stuff like that. Yeah, he was involved in it. Come on, come get me.
Towers remain standing to
Come
this
get me.
day. But
I don't
while
care.
the
I don't
beer
give a
factory
shit.
may have escaped harm, that doesn't mean the store that sells the beer is safe. Discord mod threatens to attack a grocery store.
This morning, a central New York man is charged after police say he threatened to carry out a mass shooting at a Top store in the town of Manlius outside of Syracuse.
Meet Zachary Mullen, a 20-year-old New Yorker
20?
and rather
20? You're 20 years old, bruh? 20 years old? What kind of lifestyle leads you to look like this after only living it for 20 years? Not even that. Let's say, no, he was not. Like, he was a fat kid, for sure. Because this is 20, though? My God, dude, you look older than I do. I'm 37. I'm going to be 38 this year. You look like shit. You look like shit, bro. Don't be this guy.
caricaturesque-looking Discord user. Zachary would find out the hard way that threatening your local community and online chat rooms comes with serious consequences. You see, Zach landed on the radar of law enforcement after posting some extremely concerning messages to a Discord, which appeared to show him detailing a master plan to attack his local Tops grocery store. Location.
Why? Are you doing a heist? Are you heisting a grocery store and stealing all the ham? Is that what you're doing? It's not that expensive, bro. You can just buy it. You don't have to, like... But I have seen people steal ham before. Literally. Lots of ham.
Tops, Manlius. Date next week. Expected kills 1 to 2.
That's it? That's what you're That's... Well, at least you're aiming for the middle, I guess. That's not... That's weak. Look, you shouldn't kill people, obviously, but this is a weak head count. Like, wouldn't you go for, like, a bigger kind of... The guy in the fucking Mandalay Bay killed, like, 100 people. I don't think that was one guy, but, like, let's say it was that guy. He killed, like, 100 people. And then we never heard from him again. What was his name? I don't know. His laptop didn't have a hard drive. Most laptops don't. That's what I know. I bring my laptop without a hard drive wherever I go. Yeah, it's completely functionless, but, you know, I like to have it. No hard drives for me, thanks. What was that guy's name? Fuck, I forget.
Tops in Manlius. Planned date Monday or Friday. Time around 1 or 2 p.m. I can use my dad's shotgun one last time. That's a good way of grieving, right?
Is your dad dead? He must be dead. You gonna put that in your mouth? Good, do it. Do it before you go inside.
Debating on whether to do a mass murder or becoming a legitimate racist and buying a KKK outfit. One of them would be good. Well,
Okay. Calm down, sir. Calm down. You can be a legitimate racist and then not do the rest of that. I mean, it seems to be catching on. I'm not, the whole racism thing in America right now, it's not like it was 10 years ago where it was terrible. Now it's like people are kind of tired. People are tired of it. So, I mean, especially today on Twitter, there was some very overt racism. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, this is my page. It was.
that's one hell of a choice you got.
Stephen
to make there,
Paddock,
bud.
thank you.
Now, you would think a guy of Zachary's stature would have something of a soft spot for grocery stores, but
Burn! But yeah, I had the same thought. Well, he was like, he was going to get out of there one way or another with a bunch of ham, or he's going to paint the ceiling, I guess.
clearly that wasn't the case. He was apparently out for blood, and no free sample or BOGO deal was going to stop him. In the wake of previous tragic mass shootings,
I love BOGO deals. Love them.
events that have taken place at markets like this. When these comments were reported, police weren't willing to take any chances with this guy, and they would pay him a visit.
A social media post that threatened to commit a mass shooting at the Top supermarket in Manlius and suggested racist overtones sent local law.
Racist? I can tell by the voice that this is a black lady. Like everybody else on the planet. Oh, you can never tell? Yeah, I can tell every single time. 100% of the time. I've never not been able to tell. Even when they put on the white voice. Well, Jen, back to you. Black guy. 100% of the time. They have different shaped skulls or something like that. I don't know. It's not that they're enunciating incorrectly or anything like that. It's just like you can tell they have like whiter tongues or something like that. They're not supposed to speak human languages.
Lawmakers and police into action after someone
it's all clicks and giggles over there, you know?
Called the Tops, reporting the threat made on Discord.
Zach was arrested a few days after issuing his comments, and his residence would be investigated for any contraband that could be used to carry out his threats. After obtaining a search warrant, police discovered a shotgun and an additional firearm in the house, though it was later determined that these weapons had been in the family for some time and actually...
NNN says phrenology is cutting edge. You know, it's coming back. There's a lot of things coming back. 2025 is the year of the revival. I feel like there's a lot of early 2000s stuff, a lot of even like 90s stuff that's coming back in style. This whole racism is really more 50s. But that's coming back in style. You know, it's coming around. The pendulum is swinging. We are on a cyclical kind of adventure here, all right? And now we're going right back to Jim Crow shit. Honestly, we are. We are. I know we've kind of been there for a while now, and like everyone likes to have one black family in the neighborhood. They have one black family, so they're not a racist gated community. They have one black family, and they keep them under lock and key. They put them right at the front, so you know this is not a racist neighborhood. But come on, everybody else in there is white as a ghost and like wealthy, waspy. They're all over like Florida, all over. There's so many very wealthy neighborhoods that are gated, and they'll have like a black security guard, just so you know they're not racist, but everybody in there is super racist. Especially the Jewish ones, dude. Especially the Jewish ones. The Jews come down from New York and they're super racist. You know, not for you guys, but like, you know,
belonged to Zach's father.
Super
his dad
racist.
had recently passed away just days prior, which gave added context to his earlier comments in the Discord chat. You start to get the idea that all of these threats and edgy comments may have been some twisted way of Zach grieving his father's death. You know, perhaps him just blowing off.
Well, Zach, your dad was a bitch. And he died because he didn't love you. There you go.
Steam in these Discord chats. Zach's attorney would argue this sentiment on behalf of his client, making the case that Zach's father's passing put him in a dark place and that these threats...
NNN says they leverage the fear of blacks by making them security, which is both rational and racist. So here's the thing about making black cops and black security guards and stuff like that. When you have a white guy that's like a cop or security guard, they're not going to use the force that they need to use to apprehend the suspect. Right? And the suspect is always black. They're not going to use the force because what happened to Derek Chauvin? He did a maneuver that was in training, that had been in use for years, decades at that point. And the perp just happened to die at that moment. And everyone made it a national story and it blew up and it ruined his life. Honestly, it ruined his life. White cops aren't going to risk that. They have families and like they're parts of communities and stuff like that. So they're just not going to use the force necessary to actually apprehend somebody and stop something terrible from happening. So yeah, you got to bring in black cops because they don't give a fuck. They'll kill another one. They don't care. They don't care. So I definitely see the logic, the rationale there.
Threats were empty, nothing more than an emotional outburst in response to the loss of his father. That said,
King Four Loco says, just got here. The mic's not muted. What's this about? This is my voice. And this is, I mean, really, I call it my instrument. And this is what I use to change the world. So, welcome. Welcome to the firm. Welcome to the new wave. Get ready to get your life changed.
it doesn't excuse
King Four
Zachary's
Loco.
comments. We have no way of knowing
Get
if
ready
he
to
was serious.
get rocked.
So I'd like to think it was just...
I'm drinking White Claw. Oh, I wish I had a Four Loco. Honey. Honey. Let's see if she comes in.
him lashing out here rather than being a genuine plan.
Because I'll send her ass to get me a Four Loco.
The
I will.
judge seemed to have
I'll be like, get in the car, go get me a Four Loco.
the same concern. But given the circumstances, some leniency was shown.
King Four Loco says, was asking about the doc big guy. I don't know. Something about Discord. It says, when being a Discord freak ruins your life. It's just people making terroristic threats towards like grocery stores and Jewish schools and Budweiser factories. Why those targets? Why does a fat guy target a grocery store? Why? Because of what they've done to him? It wasn't the grocery store. It was the McDonald's, or it was the Carl's Jr. more like. Because Carl's Jr. is trash. And you look like trash. So you must be eating it.
In the end, Zach was sentenced to serve 1 year of probation.
O'Neill says you can make a Jew class in Oblivion, just specialize in speechcraft, mercantile, and summoning, so you can have others fight for you without ever having to pay them and sell their shit for profit. That's genius. That is fucking genius. First of all, I always do speech characters. I always bump up my speechcraft because I like to get through those. That's what I do. I do high charisma characters. That's always what I play. But that is hilarious, and I'm gonna have to try that. I have Oblivion, and I'm gonna try that.
It's understandable to be upset over the passing of a loved one, but any reasonable person
King Four Loco says, "Don't get a loco. You'll spend your night yelling." You seriously haven't seen the show, have you? You have not seen the show that I do every single night, have you? Okay.
should know that
Okay.
threatening innocent grocery store workers and customers.
Am I muted? Have I just been screaming into the nothingness? Yeah, dude, that's what I do here, brah. That's my thing. This is my shtick and everything. I wear black shirts and I scream nonsense into a microphone. It's working out pretty well.
with gun violence in a Discord
It's
chat.
putting together,
isn't the
you
way
know?
to go about it. Now that we've discussed
Talk about
two
conspiracies
grown-ass
and
adults,
nonsense
let's
and
move
shit.
to a
Racism a
teenage
lot.
Discord degenerate whose story just might be one of the funniest out of today's. Dalton Barnhart threatens to kill 7 people in Minecraft, literally.
That's lame. Why would you do? So you're gonna find people you met in Minecraft. You're gonna hunt them down, and I imagine they're 12 tops, dude. Like adults don't play Minecraft. Do you guys play Minecraft? I mean, like dabbling is okay, but like, who actually puts their time into Minecraft as an adult? A lot of people. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I've seen people build like computers inside of Minecraft, which is impressive. They have logic gates and everything like that. They have like RAM and stuff in there. I don't know how computers work. I'm sure they're complicated though. But I can't imagine a real adult doing that. I know they do though. I know they do.
Youngest offender in this mega comp of Discord dumbasses is 15-year-old Dalton Barnhart, a Discord user and Minecraft player who issued a direct threat of violence to his school and got pulled up on by the police.
Cheddar says, I used to, not anymore. And then says, nah, dude, I'm not that gay. I used to play on, Pamunky says, I used to play on a 360 with my friends. Cheddar says, what do I look like? An ethoslab? An ethoslab? Ethnoslab? What is that word? I don't know what that word is. People don't play Minecraft. Normal people, unless they're extremely autistic, which is not normal, play Minecraft. Normal people don't play Minecraft. Normal people play video games. I play video games. Like every day. I play video games. Depending on what I'm playing, you know, might spend a lot of time, might spend a little time. I don't play Minecraft. Kids play Minecraft. Not knocking Minecraft in the least bit. I think it's one of the most brilliant games ever conceived. So I'm not knocking Minecraft at all. Adults don't play Minecraft.
It's not long after. The whole interaction getting caught in 4K on police body cam. I do want to note that the name Dalton Barnhart was actually a pseudonym, and the name of the kid isn't public information.
Who's that big fatso guy that plays Minecraft? I'm gonna look him up. Oh, this song. That was bang.
Rub the pussy, touch the pussy, fuck the pussy. Do you wanna rub the pussy, touch the pussy, fuck the...
That's my banger jam, so you know. This guy, Case O. Case O. He's behind me.
I feel like they do more damage or just better.
He's a big fat guy, and he plays Minecraft.
Let's just take
I'm not gonna lie, I've watched him.
We're gonna take just a quick peek.
He's watchable. He's like extroverted, and he's like ebullient, and he can communicate well, right? I'm not saying he's a bad streamer. I mean, he makes tons of money, right? 7.8 million subs. 8 million fucking subs, and I'm sure he gets super chats out the ass too. So he's probably making some very good money. But why are you playing Minecraft? I'm just saying, it's boring to me.
Down here, we gonna see if there's like maybe some surface coal, some surface iron, something like that. And there's absolutely nothing down here. This is the worst cave I've
Cheddar says Etho is one of the last watchable Minecraft YouTubers. I don't know who Etho is. Never heard of him. Does PewDiePie play Minecraft, or he just say the N-word on bridges? Because that's what I do. IRL, that's what I do. I don't do that on video games. I go to every bridge and I shout the N-word so all the boats can hear me. Because they think it's funny. Because there's no black people on boats. They had a bad experience at one time.
Never seen in my life.
Never again.
Okay, second objective. Fish action. What is that? It's armadillo. They carry, chat, armadillos carry, what's it called? They carry leprosy. Stay away from it.
Okay, I can see this. It's very calm and relaxing. You see him do stuff. There's a couple jokes in here. I get this. Okay. I'm not knocking this guy at all. I think he deserves his following.
The best source of food, in my honest opinion, is these little fish that be swimming around. So we're going to dive in here, kill a handful of them, we're going to be good for now.
All right. But to be a Minecraft expert seems lame. It seems lame. But I'm not knocking that guy. Queso? Hey, queso. Queso like the cheese? Is that what you're trying to say? Queso, cheese? Cheese guy? Hey, cheese guy. Respect. Honestly, respect. I'm not knocking at you in the least bit. You're fat, though. So yeah.
Hi, Dalton Barnhart. Back to bring my father.
Ric Flair says, and herpes. Yeah. Yeah, you have herpes, too. I don't know if that's what he was talking about, but I decided to.
M15
Cheddar sent me a link for Case or Ethos Lab. Let's watch him. Let's bring him up. Let's watch him. Because why not?
Hello. How's...
Okay, sure. Desert?
To this hill, like it'll be more sloped and then it gets steeper and steeper, right?
Oh my god,
this
I'm
also
bored.
Gives us the ability to rough up the tough. We can mix in some stairs and some slabs and kind of give it some character that way too. Probably the other way, stair and then slab. Do stuff like that, add some layers over here to kind of blend it into the terracotta and stuff. Yeah, so this is gonna be a little bit challenging. If we look at it right now, it doesn't belong at all. Looks out of place. We have to add enough of...
No. I'm sorry. I'm bored with you. I'm bored with you, sir. Makes a lot more money than I do, but that's fine. That's not even that hard. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think I like queso better. Queso with his cheese face and stuff like that. He's just he's got a couple of jokes. It's kind of relaxing, and you know what? It's the ASMR of the clicking. Listen to the clicking. Listen.
Swimming.
Listen to the
Call me
clicking.
Ocean Man for nothing. Chat, give me a RIP to these poor fish that are swimming in this lake. But this is
And
just,
then you go to the RIP. I feel like I have a better voice than you, but I'm not knocking you. I'm not knocking you at all. Maybe I should do a Minecraft stream. Should I do a Minecraft stream? I'll do that. Not tonight, but I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a Saturday episode. I don't
circle
know.
of life, man. I'm sorry. I gotta do what I gotta do to survive out here. This is just what it is, man. I hate to kill y'all.
Oh, NNN says, I think he means armadillos have herpes too. Well, brah, why you fucking armadillos? Brah. Brah? Is it worth it? That's my question. Is it worth it? Yeah, they got leprosy and herpes and stuff like that, but if you're banging them, it must be worth it. Tell me it's worth it. There's armadillos outside right now. I know that for a fact. You tell me it's worth it. I will go grab one and rape it. I'm waiting. Nothing yet. Okay. Okay.
Oh, but look.
Stonkdot says, bro. Tell me to rape that armadillo. Just tell me to rape the armadillo, okay? For God's sakes, I have to. I'm dying. The curiosity is absolutely killing me. I want to hit that armadillo. The armadoosie. I have to hit the armadoosie.
It's either y'all or me. And at the end of the day, this is hardcore. It's gotta be me. Or you. Something.
Cheddar says the armadillo fucked me. Sad cry face. Well, I'm so sorry. But that's funny. You got raped by an armadillo. The tables turned. And then what are you going to do? You probably just curled up and rolled away.
So how many do you think we're gonna need for now? Like
Kick him like a
10
soccer ball?
12?
Ric Flair says, I'm sorry, Cheddar. It's because you got raped by... Cheddar got raped by an armadillo. That's not for us to know. That's because it's really sad. That's really sad. Can you go to the grocery... No, can you go to the gas station and get me a Four Loko?
You want me to go back in time and go to the gas station?
Go back in time?
They don't make them anymore.
They don't make Four Locos? What do they make now? 5 Locos? Is there a sequel?
No, there's no locos.
There's no Locos? I disagree. I've been to a Home Depot. There's plenty of Locos. There's plenty of Locos there. No, make it happen. Are Four Locos not a thing anymore? Have they not been a thing for a while? I thought that was in Florida.
Yeah, I know.
I thought we were in Florida. I thought it was America. I thought it was America.
Yeah, right. For in
I thought it was
Florida,
America. Okay, well, grab me a bottle of wine and grind up some caffeine pills and put it in there. And bring that.
It would not be much different.
It wouldn't be much different. grab me like Ripple, though. It's got to be real alcoholic wine. And then put some no-dos in that bad boy and shake it up. And then just pour it down my throat. You know, I shotgunned a Four Loko one time? It was in Florida. I know, dude. I puked. But the next day I puked. Adderall was involved.
Remember, we gotta play this perfect, chat, because one death and it's over forever. Okay? Rest in peace.
Cheddar says they basically removed the ephedrine and caffeine and called it a day. Well, then that's just not Four Loko anymore. You know what I've been wanting to try? Monster, the energy drink, has come out with a malt liquor beverage. Let's see if I can bring that up. That actually looks promising. Let me see. Monster.
Chad, I feel bad, man, but...
Boo.
Chad, I feel bad, but I gotta...
Monster
Was
Boo.
I drowning?
Here we go.
Yo, relax. I'm panicking too early.
Okay, shut up, Queso. Which is a delicious name. I'm honestly like so jealous. Monster Energy is expanding with alcoholic and cannabis drinks. Why does cannabis have to be in everything? If you want to be a stoner, that's fine. That's cool with me. Honestly, it is. You don't need to put cannabis in everything. You don't need CBD everything. CBD doesn't do anything. CBD does nothing. I will die on that hill. I've done CBD. I have done lots of CBD in the creams and the gummies and the fucking vape pens and stuff like that. Nothing, dude. Absolutely nothing for me. But I mean, maybe I'm just a stoner, so it doesn't do anything. Yeah, here we go. Monster Energy. This is Ultra Sunrise. I hear they come in all the different flavors. I hear the white flavor is probably the best. I wants to get it. I want to try it. Okay. Well, here we go with Stonk. Hold on. There's a bell. I love it. Stonk Nod for $5 says, this is a John drinking episode. If you got to go poop, play this. If I have to go poop, play this. This is on the back burner. In case I need to take a mad dump, you guys. In case I need to take a dump, I gotta play this. Should I save it?
The government knows when you masturbate. The government knows when you masturbate. The government knows when you feel alone and it's getting late and you're sitting at home, looking straight through your webcam. Looking at you is Uncle Sam. Look him in the eyes with your balls in your hand and stick it to the f***ing bed. Stare at the screen when you unpack. The government is staring back. This is how they know you.
Wait, are you telling me that the government right now is watching this show? The government. The United States government of America. Right now, they're looking at me through that thing right there. I'm looking at it. I'm making eye contact with them. You telling me that? You telling me that? You telling me that? Well, maybe they can get me some armadillos to rape, for God's sakes. Maybe they can get me some fucking Four Locos and armadillos and just leave me to my peace. All right? That's what I need. That's all I need. Armadillos and Four Locos for the raping and the chugging. And the chugging and the raping. That's all I need.
Kill 7 people.
God damn.
And Falcon Warrior.
I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man with simple wants and simple needs. All right? I just need some herpes-laden armadillos and some caffeine-laden Four Locos. All right? So I can truly be a patriot.
920. Who's that?
This is Florida.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. How did he get to this point? One day, while playing in a public Minecraft server, Dalton, who went by the alias Falcon Warrior on both Discord and Minecraft, typed the following to the in-game chat.
Stocknot says, Daddy's all bricked up for animals. Well, yeah. Yes, I was going to try to defend myself, but what's the fucking point? What's the point? The government already knows my armadillo affiliation, right? I'm going to be a furry. I'm going to make my armadillo. That's my fucking furry. That's my furry outfit, is an armadillo with the shell, and then I'll roll up into a ball when I get scared, and I'll roll away. It'll be adorable, and I'll have a sign that says, I have herpes.
I, Dalton Barnhart, vow to bring my father's M15 to school and kill 7 people at a minimum. Now, if you look at logs available from where this chat was sourced from, it does appear that Dalton's comment was made with the sole intent of rage baiting in-game.
Stonk says it's acceptable. You're an animal. That's how you beat the rap. I'm not trying to beat any rap. I'm just trying to beat armadillo cheeks. That's all I'm trying to beat.
You can see some other players call him out after seeing what he did.
Is that so weird? Is that so strange? Am I a bad person because I want to molest a little armadillo, a cute little innocent armadillo? Okay.
you in comments like, bro, don't say that stuff, calling him an edgelord, etc., etc.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
And Dalton replies with something along the lines of, LOL, why do you care so much? Dalton reportedly went on to issue other threatening messages on Discord, which got the attention of several others in his Minecraft.
I don't even know how to use Discord. I mean, for the show, here, let me bring mine up. I have a Discord, and there's like, I'm in all these groups, like with Virgie and Mersh and like fucking the Daywave boys and stuff. Don't know how to use it beyond that. Don't really care to. I don't want to dive into the Discord thing because it just doesn't. I don't know. I don't like learning new things. I have my beliefs and I stick to my beliefs. Yeah, they're old. I got most of my beliefs from a dusty book I found in my Confederate uncle's attic. Well, he wasn't my uncle, but he was somebody. And I think he was a virulent racist. But I dug it out under all the fucking the sex dolls. I pushed those aside. And I opened a creaky chest, and I blew off an old book of like that. And then it just had all my opinions. I just downloaded them, and there I am. Now I'm like this Uncle Ruckus type character, and I don't want to change. I don't need to change. I don't feel the need to change. I like armadillos and I like Four Locos. All right.
Community chat. Edgy jokes or not, Dalton's comments and associated Discord were reported to authorities.
Despite says, sorry, I got distracted talking to my wife. Can you go back about 20 minutes? Raping armadillos, Four Locos, adults don't play Minecraft. Did we hit anything else? I think that's the gist of it. Really, there was no real information that came out of my mouth.
This resulted in police showing up to the 15-year-old's house.
And then says, how much for the sex dolls, asking for a friend. Dude, they were stuffed with mothballs. So like $500 a piece.
And confronting him with the messages that he had made in Minecraft.
There was 28 of them.
The entire interaction.
They weren't adult-sized.
Involving his pissed off mother. It's some pretty legendary footage.
I, Dalton Barnhart, vow to bring my father's M15 to school and kill 7 people.
Oh, that is not good. That's not good. That's not good. When the cop comes to your house and he's all like, I have this Discord message for you. And then you're like, oh, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I am fucked. Oops. Big oops. 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 You're going to jail, man. You're going to jail. When somebody cop rolls up to your house and like shows you your Discord messages, you know you're going to jail. You know that's, even if you're not, that's a difficult conversation to have, right? That's a difficult conversation to have on Discord. What do you like? Wow, you must be really uncomfortable and sweating more than you usually are, which is a lot.
Who's that? Okay. Go ahead and turn around. Put your hands on your back. He's under arrest currently for making a threat to cause a mass shooting / act of terror.
Cause a mass shooting?
Yes. He made a statement, a written threat to plan or to carry out a mass shooting.
But he's just a little kid playing a
Are they in Hawaii or something? Why is this so nice? Is this Florida?
Video game.
And all these kids keep getting arrested. And that's why the FBI and the local law enforcement is spending.
It's true. A lot of kids are making like these vague, like nebulous types of threats online, and not even threats. A lot of times they're just like the voicing concern or something like that. And then the FBI knock, 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 comes to their door and they take a 10-year-old to fucking jail, dude. That is a real thing that really happens. And yeah, it's retarded. Because it's just fucking retarded. And what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? Is that freedom of speech, or is that like a direct threat? I feel like the things we say online should be like, okay, online is not a real place. At best, it is an alternate reality that has no relationship to the world we live in actually. So whatever is said online, it's digital Vegas. It's digital Vegas, right? It stays online. However, I do see the problems with that. I obviously do see the problems with that. But come on, dude. I see people say wild shit on Twitter. All the time. All the time. And I'm like, why aren't you getting busted for this? And it's always for political reasons. They're the LGBTQs, or they're like black or something like that, where, you know, they're pushing an agenda, a narrative, and they might say things that are technically criminal things to say, but it's okay because they're pushing a certain narrative. They're pushing a certain agenda. And then they just fucking breeze right over that, don't they? They just breeze right over that. Fucking FBI, ever since, what was it? J. Edgar Hoover, they must all wear dresses over there. Oh, God, they're coming to my door now. Whatever, fine. J. Edgar Hoover was a troon. He's a troon. Tranny.
What time? Because how do we know he's not going to be the kid from Parkland? He's not going to be the next kid, the kid that shot up Sandy Hook. We don't know that.
So we take him to jail and throw him away. Wow. Bravo, retard. Bravo. I mean, what about the kids that are actually going out there and killing people? I mean, come on. We know which ones. Carmelo. Carmelo.
Stuff like that all the time. It is a joke to them. It's a game.
Guess what?
Wrong. But it's just a comment. So how is there an arrest?
There's a Florida state statute that says you cannot make a written threat to cause a mass shooting, act, or kill.
Florida. You can't make a written threat. So you got to really. There's people that have directly threatened me a million times. I don't take it seriously, but I do live in Florida too, so I'm armed. I'm well armed. Always. So like I don't take it seriously, and honestly, I wish a nigga would.
Harm anybody else. So he'll be going to DJJ.
What's that?
The juvenile jail. We're gonna go from there. The charge is a felony or an act of terrorism.
A felony? That's a felony, dude. It'll get dropped, right?
He didn't do anything wrong. Yes, he's 15, but he's still a little boy, and he's not one of the crazy people out there doing stuff.
Okay, well, he did what he did.
Onia says punishing people for words is the same as pre-crime. So I'm not a lawyer, and obviously you guys should know that, and so don't take anything I say ever as legal advice or medical advice or life advice. However, there are things that you can't say, which are not free speech, like calls to action. I hope this or like, if I give you this amount of money to kill this person, that's a call to action. That's against the law. Although I have seen people do that and not have anything happen to them. You can't shout fire in a theater, right? Because I forget what that's called, but that's incitement or something like that. There is certain rules, but really it's all bullshit. It's all 100% bullshit. Those things that are like, oh, you can't say this because of these certain rules. Those are just ways of, just like gun control, they're infringing on the First Amendment. That's what they're doing. They're infringing on the First Amendment. When they say you can't say the N-word or something like that, or you can't say the F-word as an agate, this is infringement on the First Amendment. But yes, Twitter is a private company and they can do as they choose. But they are getting pressure from the federal government to do this. So what's the difference? What's the difference? And even if they're not getting direct pressure from the federal government is working with large corporations that spend advertising dollars. And so they're all in cahoots to suppress certain thoughts and ideas and words and stuff like that. So what's it matter? What's it matter? They're still killing the First Amendment. They're still killing our right to free speech. That's what they want to do. That's what the entire gun debate is about, is destroying the First Amendment. The Second Amendment, they don't really care about. The first one is what they care about. They have to get rid of the Second Amendment first because, well, I think we all know why. But yeah, they've definitely put a hurting on the Second Amendment, and now they're really starting to make inroads on destroying the First Amendment. Fucking thought crimes. Thought crimes are a real thing now. Thought crimes are a real thing. It pisses you off. It makes you mad.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be treated as though he...
Rick Flair says, rip Trevor. Trevor Noah. Yep. Rip Trevor. Fucking calls him as... He called him as he sees them. That's what he did. Over and over. That's what he did. Right? He was all like, I'm just 9/11 kitties and stuff like that. Called him one after another. And we all knew he was right. He knew he was right. But he was making people angry. And eventually he took a header off a balcony. And who was surprised by that? No one was surprised by that. I mean, maybe people were like, oh no, how could this happen? He jumped. He didn't jump. There's no... Of course not. Of course not.
A terrorist or something because he made a silly statement on a stupid video game.
I've made a lot of silly statements on a lot of stupid video games. And it used to be cool. You guys remember Modern Warfare 2? You remember the Modern Warfare 2 lobby? When just like the N-word would fly and agate and the whole thing. I can't even say him now too because I'm like... Because I do want to make money on this and I don't want to get destroyed. Because they'll destroy my channel, and then that's years of work down the drain, and I can't have that. So, am I part of the problem? I don't fucking know. Probably.
A gun?
I have a gun, yes.
Okay, so he has hands and feet. He can grab your gun and go do something.
He's got hands and feet, and you have a gun, so he can do things. Fuck you, retard cop. I don't think this guy's a cop. I think he's FBI. But this guy's a fucking retard cop. But, like, come on. Fuck you, man.
He would never do anything like that anyway.
We don't know. We don't know.
No, but I know.
He made the charge. He's going to face the consequences.
Yep, 15-year-old Dalton Barnhart was arrested and taken into custody.
Did I say Trevor Noah? I meant Trevor Moore. I'm sorry. Not that. No, I fucking hate Trevor Noah.
For his threat issued literally in Minecraft. As far as I know, I don't think Dalton actually faced any serious legal consequences because...
Yeah, I fucking hate Trevor Noah. I'm sorry, that just popped in my head. I really do hate Trevor Noah. Okay, great. Have you ever seen Trevor Noah's stand-up special? It's hot garbage. It is absolute... Oh, I'm half black in South Africa. Look at my unique take. Oh, look at me. I'm like a bag of wheat. Shut the fuck up, Trevor Noah. I really dislike Trevor Noah. I like Trevor Moore. I really dislike Trevor Noah.
Of, well, you know, his age. I'm fairly certain he was shown some lenience here. Maybe a slap on the wrist, if you will. But one thing's for sure, police are no longer standing idly by when online threats are being issued. There have been so many school shootings in past years.
Hamanki says he's so snotty. Trevor Noah, yeah. Yeah, he is. I fucking hate Trevor Noah. I really dislike Trevor Noah.
It would honestly be
School shootings in 2024, more than last year, but fewer deaths, by Mark Lieberman, huh? Okay, Mr. Lieberman.
Negligent for them to do so. They will find you, and they will investigate you. Joke or not, you're gonna get a vid.
Stocknot says, heard it here first, John loves Trevor Noah. You think really that's gonna catch on? You think that you think that rumor is going to catch fire and be like, oh, John secretly loves Trevor Noah? You think that's going to work? Go ahead. By all means, go around saying that. I don't think people are going to be like, oh, that's got to be true. Yeah, John secretly loves this garbage asshole comedian, mulatto comedian, right? I don't don't like mulattoes more than I dislike black people.
Is it?
I, Dalton Barnhart,
I don't.
vow to bring my father's M15 to school and kill 7 people. He made the charge. He's going to face the consequences.
A common trope we've seen thus far is individuals essentially self-reporting themselves into an FBI investigation. And this next example involves a woman who...
Ric Flair says John loves race mixing. Now you're making me mad.
who did exactly
Now you're
that,
making me
confessing
mad.
to easily one of the most...
Who can fix her? Who can fix her? Who? Tell me, who would? This is like an elf bitch, right? This is kind of like Liv Tyler? That's her name? Somebody would. Somebody fucking... A lot of you would. A lot of you... Hog Dog says milkshake babies for Jesus. Fuck you, Hog Dog.
Most bizarre crimes in today's video. Discord e-girl confesses to stealing Nancy Pelosi's hard drives.
God. Okay, yeah, would. Yes, me. What? How? How did you pull that off? How did you get Nancy Pelosi's hard drives with like with like frazzle drip on it and shit? If you guys know what that is, it's awful.
Meet Riley Williams, a January 6th rioter who allegedly...
Based! Oh my God, dude. Everybody in this chat should. I don't even care if you would. You should.
...managed to get her hands on a highly coveted piece of technology while inside the Capitol building.
Stock says, sorry, Dada, it was a joke. Are you calling me Dada now? Like Daddy? I get called Daddy all day long. By everybody. Everybody in my life calls me Daddy. It feels good.
Nancy Pelosi's laptop hard drives. Just think of all the insider trading knowledge stored on that thing. You could become a...
And it then says they literally call Noah's kind collards in South Africa. I don't care what they call them in South Africa. We call them... Yeah. Yeah, I do have a blue tongue. Because I've been taking that methylene blue stuff. If you just, I'm not blowing a smurf or whatever gay thing you're gonna say.
Millionaire with the information in those drives.
Riley June Williams was arraigned on Wednesday. The FBI said the 22-year-old had plans to sell the laptop to Russia's...
Despite what you've heard, says, I bet you could clean her up like she's all that or whatever. I bet you could. I bet you she'd be hot too. Bet you, hard bet you.
Intelligence agency.
Riley allegedly snatched the hard drives from Nancy's office.
Stocknod says it's a term of man endearment. I love you, big guy. Thanks. I love you too. And I didn't say stop. I didn't tell you to stop.
During the January 6th chaos and escaped without getting detained by police. After making it home, Riley would...
And then sounds like something a Smurf blower would say. Yeah. But only Papa Smurf, right? I'm not going for those underling Smurfs. I'm trying to get places.
Allegedly take the Discord to announce the spoils of her trip to the Capitol. Quote, I stole shit from Nancy Pelosi. I don't care. I took Nancy Pelosi's hard drives. I don't care. Kill me.
Oh my God. Whoa. I mean, if she actually pulled that off, I would be so impressed. Because you know there's information on there that would be worth a lot of money. A lot of money to the Chinese, to the Russians. The Israelis probably already have it. I guarantee that. But yeah, a lot of people would be very interested in those hard drives. Holy fuck, dude. You know what kind of insider trading information? You can go to any hedge fund in California, New York, and they would give you billions for those hard drives. Billions. You know, way ahead of time, and all hedge funds insider trade. They all do. This is just a fact. Okay, they all do. And you guys remember that whole Robinhood fiasco with AMC? How like this large hedge fund shorted AMC, and then Robinhood said, well, you can't buy AMC anymore because this large hedge fund shorted it, and they're paying us not to offer it anymore. And then it became a big ass thing. That's a crime. That is a legitimate crime, a financial crime. Nobody went away for it. Nothing happened. Yeah, all those hedge funds are just as corrupt. No one's playing by the rules. The only one that has to play by the rules is you and me, because we don't have enough money. Absolute nonsense bullshit.
Unquote.
Gotta let the cat.
I know some of you are looking at this girl
too,
and are like,
and
I
get
can
another
fix
one.
her, but trust me, you can't. You want to stay far away. Apparently, Riley was a bit of an attention goblin online. When she wasn't posting about having Nancy Pelosi's hard drive, she was performing full-on cam shows in her underwear for like 6 dudes in Discord video calls. Riley was eventually arrested.
Well, we have an update on a mid-state woman who took part in the January 6th riot. Riley Williams was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Williams was convicted of interfering with law enforcement and resisting or impeding law enforcement officers. She was not convicted of stealing Nancy Pelosi's laptop, which has yet to be found.
In 2023, Riley was sentenced to serve 3 years in prison for her involvement in the Capitol riots. However, I actually believe Riley may now be out of prison, as Trump pardoned most people sentenced for January 6 related crimes, so I don't see why that pardon wouldn't apply to her. So if any of you guys are in the market for a Discord kitten, she's out of the kennel. Now's your chance, bro. Go ahead. I'm sure it'll end well for you.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon. Yes. Full pardon.
Next, we move on to an individual who may just be the biggest edgelord in today's video, and that's saying a lot. A teenage Discord user who LARPed as a video game villain fantasizing about violence for fun. Okay. And he looks like this, by the way. This is Nathaniel Burkett. At the time of this story taking place, Nate was a 17-year-old high school student who essentially spent every waking hour of his...
Ric Flair, are you having problems with the... Oh, we getting issues? I'm not back. Here I am. It's a little bit of a lag.
Life not at school, playing video games and shitposting in Discord servers.
It's a little bit of a lag, guys. I'm here. I'm right here.
The kid is your classic attention-seeking server menace, and throughout his decorated...
Bro, that's when you're supposed to play the video I sent, not watch it. Oh.
Career.
Oh, shit. I'm so sorry. Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry. I messed up.
Vest with a dick in your right and a mouse in your left. No more interest in the Middle East, so they look at you while you touch your meat. In the middle of a truce, they put the equipment to the use. Why you think you pay the tax for drones and spies computer hacks? Taxes.
Okay, next time I'll have it right there. See, you guys can see my. It's right there. It's the first tab. Okay, so next time I get it up, I'll do it. Okay.
Career of Discord degeneracy, he's issued many threats, essentially LARPing as a psycho serial killer. Let's peruse through this 17-year-old's post history, shall we? Under the usernames Worthless Scum and Demon Slayer 777.
Hey, Stocknod, I'll play it when I fucking goddamn well please. How about that?
77. Nate would issue some of these classics. I'm going to kill so many people. So many bad guys will die. So
many bad guys will die. Oh, am I going to be... I really do worry about this show. Because I'm like, am I going to get like fucking swatted or something? I hope not. I really hope not.
To stab so many people and make them hurt. I get pretty happy when I imagine myself being a villain and going on a mass murdering spree, like in a movie as fuck.
That's bad. That is bad. Here's the cat. That's bad. That's not positive. You shouldn't imagine yourself as a murdering spree villain. I'm just saying, that's not positive. It's not good.
Fucked up as it sounds. Ha 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 ha. I want so many people to die.
Onia says John doesn't do breaks, LOL. No, I do. No, I don't do breaks. I don't do this long enough to take breaks. I only do 2-hour stretches. Like Pessy does, Pessy's insane. Because Pessy will do like 12 hours straight. I'm like, why? Why? Why do you, I mean, do you make good money doing that? Why? It would just drive, I would get bored with myself. And I don't get bored with myself. I feel like there's enough going on in my head where it's like, it's always pretty dark. And I can express that darkness through the magic of voice and dance. I won't dance. Through the magic of alcohol, I express that voice. And I would get bored.
By my hand and then play.
Hey, and Pumasses, how's it going? He followed me on Twitter today. You guys, that's pretty cool, huh? Right? I'm somebody.
With their guts while they are still alive.
I've been drinking White Claws.
Nobody understands me, but they will understand how dead they will be in a minute. Then sometimes Nathaniel would show a more reflective and melancholic side, issuing classics to the chat such as this. At this point, I've given up, and
Rick
there's
Flair says Pessy uses a piss jug. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Does he? Does he? My kid pissed in the car today. Because we were going to the beach, and it's a 10-minute ride to the... It's 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes to the fucking beach. It's 10 fucking minutes to the beach. You can't hold it. You can't hold it for 10 minutes? And he was like, no, I can't hold it. And he pissed in a cup inside my new car. And I was like... He's 4 years old. It's okay. It's cool. Luckily, he didn't spill a drop, which I was actually kind of impressed by. But it's 10 fucking minutes. It's 10 fucking minutes to the beach. We have to go over a bridge, and that's it.
Nothing left for me but anger and depression and suicide. I feel like if I ever took over the world, every person that treated me like shit...
Stocknod says, my phone is plugged in, so I'm using a piss jug to watch this. What? Why? How are those connected? How are those connected? You need to... So you can't take me to the bathroom with you? You seriously listen to me while you piss? You hear my voice as urine is traveling through your penis. I'm flattered.
I would take them and make them suffer and make them have a slow
gotta
death.
go.
And I
That's
would
right.
enjoy every single minute of it. Okay, that wasn't actually very melancholic at all.
Despite says he's got a tiny bladder, John. Yeah, he does have a tiny bladder, but so does his grandpa. Like Jess's dad, he's got a tiny bladder too. So I think he might have just inherited it.
All it was equally as insane and disturbing as the prior messages. Now keep...
Hawk Duck says, at least he didn't yell R. Kelly and piss all over you. Okay, you don't know my kid. But that sounds... He wouldn't get the reference. But if he understood the reference, that's exactly what he would fucking do. That's exactly what he would do. Like, you don't even know, dude. He, like, punks me on the regular like that. He fucking, like... He, like, plays jokes on me and punks me and, like, drops elbows, like, boom! It's like, he would do that. He would do that in a second. When he gets older and, like, starts to get, like, the panoplia of, like, social commentary, like, understood in his head, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. It'll be funny. I'll laugh. I will laugh because I'm not made of stone. But I'm also going to be pissed because sometimes I don't want like getting smashed in the head by things or get like pissed on in the middle of the night or something like that. And he'll do that. He'll do that.
Keep in mind, all of this psycho serial killer, I'm gonna play with your guts murder talk is coming from a guy that looks like this. Bro.
Yeah, that looks like the type. Honestly, that looks like the type. I see no... What are you trying to say? That he's not capable of doing that? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I disagree.
Bro is literally built like an after-school chess club captain.
Exactly. Exactly. And what would the chess club captain obviously think? He would think he's too smart. He's too smart to get caught. That's what he would think. He think he's 5 moves ahead of the local police department, when really he overlooked a glaring detail. Yeah, exactly the type.
While we're on the topic of appearance, I'd like to bring up the fact that Nate often posted his insane Discord ramblings using the avatar of Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2. Jack is the lead villain from that game. The character is sadistically evil and takes pleasure in murdering thousands.
That's super gay. That's super, super gay. Because I might get some pushback on this, which is good. Badlands is boring. Badlands is a boring game. And I did not like Badlands. Oh, I don't care how many guns you can make. It's boring. Badlands is a boring game.
Throughout the course of it, you can see why Nate would use the avatar. He wanted to be like Jack, handsome and murderous.
I also am not like the hugest fan of like the cell shading animation. Not that that's like the biggest drawback, but you know.
Two qualities that he didn't possess, though in fairness, the jury was still out on the latter one. Nathaniel actually speaks on his affinity for Handsome Jack at some point.
By the way, Wavy Web Surf, if you do watch this, I love your set. I'm a big fan of like the paisley kind of psychedelic colors. You got the salt lamps, WWS. I really like it.
In chats. I've tried looking on the positive side before, but every time I did, I got so confident, so happy.
He's not getting laid. He's not getting laid at all. And How do I get laid? I get laid, but this guy doesn't. I don't understand. Am I better looking than him? This is a completely honest question, and I'm not like fishing for compliments or anything like that, because I don't understand with when one type of person, man, because women aren't people, is better looking than another type of person or more attractive than another type of person. Again, man, women aren't people. I guess he's a little nerdy looking or something like that. I just don't get it. Is that hard? Am I very lucky? Am I better looking than most people? I don't understand.
Happy. I felt so good, and I do feel
Cheddar says definitely more handsome. Thanks, Cheddar.
So great. Just to have it ripped away by
You're
somebody
sweet.
who is either a dick to me.
You're tall, John. I'm not terribly. I'm like 5'11" or 6 foot. It depends on actually the footwear I'm wearing. But that's not that tall. I am much taller than Royston Frozen, though. Like, ridiculously. It's like silly.
Broke up with me, makes fun of me, etc. And at this point, I've given up, and there's nothing left for me but anger, depression, and suicide. I hate to sound dark, but sometimes with this whole Hyperion thing...
Cheddar says, you see, this guy looks like a virgin. Is it the glasses?
I feel if I ever took over the world, every person that treated me like shit, I would take them and make them suffer and make them have a slow death. And I would enjoy every single minute of it. That's why I hide myself behind Handsome Jack, because at this point, that's all I really feel like. A handsome Jack, being betrayed by everyone and being wronged by...
Cheddar says, okay, we get it. John, 5'8" should be rounded up to 6 foot. I'll show you my license. I'll take a picture. Like, really... Have you not seen me with the pictures with Royce and stuff like that? No, I am legitimately that tall, but like, I didn't think that was that tall. I mean, it's just, I am like 5'11" and a half. Honest to God, that is basically, that is my height. Okay. I have no reason to lie to you. It's like 6 foot if I'm wearing shoes. That's it. But don't fucking call me 5'8". I am not 5'8".
by everyone over and over again till it drives me insane. And right now I got...
Despite says, I'm 6'1", you're above average. Also, women are short and stupid, and so you pass for tall. So Jess is pretty tall, too. Jess is like 5'6", 5'7". No, she's got to be 5'8", dude. She's pretty tall. She's pretty tall.
Got nothing that makes me happier right now but death, or to make those assholes suffer. That's all I got right now. Eventually, the brooding and shocking on...
I'm like, okay, So I say I'm 6 foot because whenever I walk past those things at the grocery or at the fucking gas station, it always says 6 foot. But I'm also like 220 pounds of solid muscle. So I'm not small. I'm pretty fucking dense. You know, because there's some people that are 6 feet tall, but they weigh like 120 pounds, right? So I have 100 pounds on them. 100 pounds of muscle, dude. Like 6-pack muscle. Because I go to the gym fucking 5 days a week. And also I'm just genetically gifted like that. So I think that makes a difference. I think that makes a pretty big difference. It's not strictly about height. Height is important, but really women are attracted to somebody who can kick some ass. And I can definitely do that.
Online talk from this quirked up kid would get him in trouble. Some of Nate's messages, specifically the ones
Stock says, I'm like 5'7" soaking wet, which is pretty funny.
claiming he would enact violence would be reported by members in the Discord server he was in. And
Hog Dog says, if I were over 200, I'd feel like a fatty. But I'm not fat, you see. I'm very muscular. I can bench I use the machines a lot of the time, but the machines are always maxed out. I could probably bench 315, 320 several times. I'm very strong. I don't want to I'm very strong.
Authorities found them worrying enough to open up an investigation into discovering who Nate was.
I'm so strong I could beat the fuck out of Dan Snot. There you go.
Where he lived. They eventually found success in this venture thanks to Steam, of all places, who, after receiving a subpoena,
Dan Snot says John is pretty buff. Yeah.
Handed over Nate's IP to them and thus his location. After receiving this information, police would pay Nate a visit and he would be arrested shortly after.
After hours and hours and hours of work, they said, we need a subpoena. It was 4 days. 4 days until they responded to us. Despite us sending the subpoena.
This guy's a child predator. I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to call it right now, today. Child predator.
And saying, we've got someone who's talking about mass murder. It took them 4 days.
Hog Dog says the most I packed on was 212 of muscle from strength training, but I shed it after not being in the gym for 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. 6 hours? 6 hours a day? How tall are you, Hog? You're 6'4"? Yeah, that's like pretty beefy. That's pretty beefy, but you might be able to you might have a different body type. Right? But 6 hours a day, I don't do that. I'll go to the gym 45 minutes a day. That's what I do. But the rest of my day, I'm also very active. I'm lifting up kids and I'm running around and I'm surfing and shit like that. So it's not like I'm sitting. I do sit around, but like not constantly. I wish I'd sit around more.
So here's what I'd like to ask Steam and Valve.
Hog Dog says I have a high metabolism. I think you're just a different type of body type, right? Because for you to struggle at 6'4" to stay at 212, that just means you're naturally leaner. You're just naturally leaner, right? If I wasn't like very focused, I would get fat. I would get fat, sure. But I'm not fat because my diet is very strictly controlled. And I also work out very, very consistently for years. I've always done it for years. Well, not always. I've been fat before.
If he'd have been threatening to come into your business and shoot up everybody, would it have taken you 4 days to have provided that data to your local law enforcement agency so we could identify him? That's part of the...
Cheddar says, despite my 6'7" friend would have to agree. Yeah, sometimes, like, when they're real stringy like that, like, I've known real tall people that are like 6'6", 6'7", or something like that, and they're just string beans. And it's like, that's not threatening. That's not threatening. If you're 6'7" and you're like 250 pounds, and like solid muscle, then you're pretty threatening. But if you're 6'7" and 140 pounds, now I'll break you. I will break you, dude.
Problem we have.
The officer would reveal that before these threats were reported, Nate's church had actually kicked him out and banned him from ever coming back, presumably over something he had either said at church or something that he said online. Not Nathaniel, he's a good little Christian boy.
Along the way, we also determined that
Hello,
a church,
holographic doctor. LOL, this guy doesn't know know Valve. It would take them 4 days. I don't know what you mean.
in Illinois had said, hey, don't come back to our church because of his outrageous comments.
The best part about this briefing is when the officer makes a statement to thank the gamers.
But I want to start by thanking the gamers, the moderator, who said,
you never thank a Discord moderator for anything they've ever done. They're bad people, and they deserve to rot in hell. And so do you, you kitty fiddler. I'm calling it, this is a child predator. This guy, child predator, 100%. He's got the Peter Schiff pink fucking cheeks, dude. There's something about it. There's something about it.
Whoa, this is dangerous.
Nate certainly was pretty gnarly in his threats, but our next Discord degenerate definitely takes the cake when it comes.
Despite what you've heard, says a couple of years ago, I got really sick and got down to 135. And you're 6'1". You got down to 135, dude. That's insane. That is crazy, dude. You must have been a skeleton.
Comes to specifics. I need to get more serious here.
Holographic Doctor says Valve time. They've been late with almost everything they've done. Are you talking about Valve, the developer, who did like Half-Life and stuff? Why are you talking about that? I'm sorry, dude. I'm lost.
Discord homophobe says he's going to kill exactly 100 gay people.
Start the counter.
On December 13th of 2022, a man logs into a Discord account featuring an anime profile picture with the name Bloodstained Sand and shares this. It's a photo.
Dan Stott says Frozen is playing black music. Is Frozen freezing? Is Frozen streaming right now? Is he? Wicked game. Hold on. Is this his show? This is, I don't, where is he streaming? Is he streaming right now? I didn't know. If he's streaming it, how do I have more followers than Frozen?
Photo of a modified AR-15 style rifle. Along with it, an extremely concerning caption. 600 West College Avenue, Tallahassee, Florida, 32306. At December 17th, 2022, 100...
Yeah. I, in fact, do have more followers than Frozen Asian does. Oh. That's cool.
Die. See you there. It's a specific threat, to say the least.
And the shit show. The shit show. The shit show. Let's drop in an old Frozo, see what we're doing. I don't know. Is this it? Sunday Night Shit Show? It is live.
Unexpected. There it is.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
Oh, my
Jesus.
God. Hey, fat women need
Fuck
you guys, all right?
Frozen.
As long as they're single moms, Moose.
Oh my God, this is an abomination. I am on my stream.
Oh, hey, John.
Talking. He's got more people watching.
John, you're muted.
Shut up! Fuck you! Hold on. This is weird.
We're doing this again?
Unfortunately, I'm too hammered to even, fight. Piss and vinegar.
I'm drinking White Claw.
God damn it. Amanda.
Hell yeah.
No, Amanda, get the fuck out of here. With that
You good? All right, we're going. Okay, bye. All right, that was enough of that. All right, that was terrible. That was terrible. God, I'm glad we're on our show. This is a better show.
Attack against FSU's
show.
gay community just 4 days out.
Dan Stott says Streamception. It is Streamception.
Users who found
Why are you listening to that gay rap, dude? That's bad rap too. I'm not like opposed to rap. I'm not, dude. I am not opposed to rap. I like hip hop. I like rap. That was not good. That was garbage. That was nig rap, dude.
on the post reported it to Discord and the police, hoping to thwart whoever was behind it. Fortunately for the college, though, the individual who issued this threat had an IQ lower than the amount of gay people he was threatening to kill. Bloodstained Sand, in all of his vast wisdom, had registered his Discord account under an email that featured, you guessed it, his full name. That being
Cheddar says Canadian rap slaps the best. No, it doesn't. It's like French rap. That's lame. Not only is it rap, it's French. Ew.
On Michael Albert.
Ew.
The FBI later got a hold of his IP and correctly identified.
Arnia says most rap sucks, but what's good is good. Yeah, that's true, right? That's good. There's good rap songs out there. There really is, but just most of them aren't. But I guess that's true for any genre of music. There's so much music out there that just almost 100% of it is garbage. It's just hot garbage. Like, you ever go to SoundCloud and then like look through, it's all garbage. It's all garbage. And it's just like little Mexican kids or like stupid black kids that like try to like do something. And look, dude, I'm not knocking trying. Because trying, you're going to be cringy for a while. You will. You'll be cringy for a while. But then, but some people don't have any talent. Some people just straight up have zero talent. And this is a fact. This is a hardcore fact. But they don't know. They think they're the hottest shit ever. But they're not. They suck. But you can't tell them that. You can't tell them that. But yeah, most people suck at what they do. Rap or streaming or whatever. Or comedy. My God. I spent a lot of years doing stand-up comedy. And I was good. I was very good, actually. But most people were very, very bad at it. Most people were very bad. You know how I could tell? It's because I was one of the few people that actually got laughs. Consistently. And I was very good. No, you can't see any.
Albert as a 19-year-old college student attending Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. Before attempting to make an arrest, investigators dug up everything they could in regard to Sean's history as Bloodstained Sand on Discord. In this venture, they found a slew of sus comments, racist, and homophobic remarks, such as...
I don't see that. What? What's the problem? What's the problem? Kill all joggers. Okay. All right. Touche, sir. Touche.
These. Kill all joggers, which, if you know, you know. A genocide.
Oh, I know, Wavy. I hear you loud and clear through my headphones. Joggers.
On needs to happen, not even a question. And when someone asked what his plans were one weekend, he replied, tear gas a synagogue.
You know, as you do, you're hanging out with the boys, having some brews, and then you just happen to have this canister of tear gas. What are you going to do with it? Well, there's a synagogue down the street. Maybe we should chuck it through the window. That's what you do.
I mean, I was thinking we could watch the game, but all right, you do you, bro. In the wake of his
You could watch the game, but you do you. I mean, like, yeah, we could, change society up, or we could watch the game.
Against the university, the FBI learned that this ornery fellow would be traveling to the Orlando International Airport, and it's there that they would pay him a visit. At the airport, the feds detained and interrogated Sean. It's reported they initially offered him 3 guesses as to why they were speaking with him, which...
I'm not going to you're not going to chain me to a table, and they'd be like, oh, you want to play a game? You get 3 guesses to why you're here. I'll be like, fuck you, dude. And then I'll just clam right up, dude. That's what I would clam right up. And you wouldn't get a word out of me. I'll be like, every beer you bring me, I will make one statement against a high-level drug dealer in this town. That's it, though. And then I'll just make shit up. I don't know anything. I don't know shit about anything. So, okay, maybe I'll get something right, but they'll be feverishly writing it down, and I'll drain like a 30 record Natty Ice, because they're not going to bring me the good stuff.
Which would lead to him admitting to publishing, quote, an online post that may be perceived as a mass shooting threat, unquote. Yeah, you see, Albert claimed that the very specific threat with date, time, address, method of violence.
Ardenshire says anti-sneakertism. Which I really, really like that. I like anti-sneakertism.
It was all just a joke, meant to be ironic and satirical.
That's funny.
As a matter of fact, he didn't think it was illegal. Come on, guys, you don't think this is funny? You're telling me that if
that's funny, dude. You don't let anybody tell you that's not funny. You don't let anybody tell you that shit's not funny. I don't care if the FBI knocks on your door, which they did, and they told you this isn't funny, which they did, and then you're like, I disagree. That was really funny. That's Chad moves. That's hardcore Chad moves. You need the Chad face with a big fucking Chad chin. You fucking Chad. That's Chad shit.
I specifically say I'm going to kill 100 gay people at 6 o'clock on a Friday.
You look Roman, bro. That's a Roman nose. I got one. That's Roman, dude. You Roman.
I can't do that? Literally 1984. Now, in fairness to Mr. Albert, officials later determined the gun image and the gun shown in it wasn't actually his.
Yeah, not his. I could have told you that. I could have told you that in a second. Easily.
His. It was a photo that he had taken off of a Reddit post. But that doesn't really change much in the grand scheme of things here. Who cares if it wasn't his photo? When you're dealing with a twisted freak like this who's making threats like this, nah, dog, you're getting charged. The mentally deranged Sean Michael Albert, a.k.a. Bloodstained Sand, would be arrested.
Bloodstained Sand is his name? Gay. That's gay. You're a gay guy.
Arrested by the FBI and charged with issuing terroristic threats.
This is why we had the First Amendment. So people couldn't like trump up charges against you like that, right? Oh, yeah, terroristic threats. No, shut up. Shut up. You're making up shit because you're arresting people you don't like. That's exactly what you're doing.
He waived his preliminary hearing and would be detained for months before eventually pleading guilty to making threats in interstate commerce. While jailed for a time, according to reports, it appears...
Cheddar says, but hate speech isn't free speech because it hurts someone's ego. Yeah, it really depends on who you're hurting, whose ego you're hurting. Because not everyone's ego is created equally.
Sean Michael Albert is out on supervised release, but he will remain on the radar of the courts at least until the end of 2025. While it's possible Sean...
O'Neill says, yeah, John, but safety is always the most important thing. I can hear the sarcasm in your voice. I can hear that. I hear your sarcasm. It's cutting. It's really cutting, O'Neill.
And was only posting his bombastic messages to Discord for attention. Our next subject may have had more serious plans. High schooler threatens to kill students who paid for her medical bills. This story is one involved...
What? Excuse me, what? Why would you do, somebody did something nice for you and you're like, I'm going to kill those bastards. I'm going to kill those motherfuckers. Okay, you psychopath. Whatever. You can't do anything for women. You just can't. The less you do for women, the better off you are in just your life in general, because they're going to use it against you somehow, dude. It is crazy to me how women are just thankless about society in general. They thought they built it. No, that's actually completely untrue. That's completely untrue. But whatever, women, you go on and be absolutely delusional for your entire lives and then feel like you made some sort of contribution to society, which if you didn't have kids, you didn't. You 100% didn't. That's your job, is to have kids and to raise people. That is your fucking job. If you didn't do that, you made no contribution to society whatsoever. Okay? I will die on that hill.
Involving a high schooler who vowed to hurt the very students who once fundraised money to save her life. In 2022, Trinity Shockley, a Mooresville, Indiana high school student, was tragically hit by a drunk driver.
We have an update on the case of a Mooresville high school student hit by a suspected drunk driver while
you're fat and ugly
walking to her bus stop on Tuesday morning. 15-year-old Trinity Shockley is still in.
She's probably crazy. She's a redhead.
The hospital, according to her family. She's suffering from multiple broken bones, her femur, her arm, and a fractured vertebrae and skull. She's also bleeding in the brain in 2 places and may need surgery for her ACL. Shockley's aunt describes her as spunky and outgoing with a good sense of humor. She also tells us she's close to her father, Tim, who is a veteran.
The teenager suffered multiple life-threatening.
Well, that's sad. That sucks. I mean, like, that sucks. You got hit by a car. But here's the thing. Women are really bad at dodging things. They're really bad at dodging like cars or balls, not testicles. But they're bad at dodging those. But like anything, they're bad at dodging things. They have no situational awareness. So they get hit by things kind of often. And it's up to us to actually make sure they're out of the way. She needs a man. That's what she needs.
Injuries. And the drunk driver
Hot Dog says loads.
Broke several of her bones in the collision. While the drunk driver would be.
Onia says, wasn't she in Harry Potter? She was Ginny Weasley. Yeah, she was probably Ginny Weasley.
Apprehended and jailed, Trinity was left in rough condition and had a
Hot Dog says her neck and her back. The rest of the song. What's the rest of the song?
Staggering amount of medical bills to reconcile. That's where her community and fellow students stepped in.
She's a child, you animal. She got hit by a car because she wasn't paying attention, as usual.
Together, raising over $25,000 for Trinity's recovery.
25 grand, that's all she gets. What did this one chick that said the N-word, she got like $500,000 so far? Can somebody tell me what that's at right now? Hey, Farmer Chewy. What is that? What is the racist lady at? Is she at 500 grand yet? Is she?
Thankfully, with the help of all involved, she would recover. And this seemed like the end of the affair. A feel-good story involving a tight-knit...
Okay. So we're 2 hours in. I'm going to switch over to premium. I have to do this. I kind of wish I didn't, but you know, I do get paid to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to premium. And if you guys are not premium, why aren't you premium? Just sub to my channel. It's $5. It's $5. Or I think you can watch me on locals. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm going to switch over to premium right now. So, goodbye, everybody else.